Hello everyone, this is AndresRestart, and today we are talking about both awesome and surprising Nintendo Switch 2 news, or just Nintendo news in general, that you may have missed. There's been so much going on as of late, I haven't been able to cover it all. There have been things that are being taken down by Nintendo, there are things being hidden behind paywalls, and there are just things that may be too obscure to have reached your timelines that I want to talk about today. There's really a lot of interesting stuff that's been going on. Now, quick disclaimer here, this video is going to be taking a more simpler approach than usual. I actually wanted to record this a lot earlier in the day, but they were power washing right outside my window all day, so I've been unable to record until now. So in order to get this video out at a reasonable hour, I'm taking a simpler approach here. That said, I do have this goal to still reach 60,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you do find yourself enjoying my content regardless, I would appreciate your support. But now on to all the news. So yesterday, Nintendo put out the second version of the Close to You short film. If you missed the first one, it came out on October 7th, a couple days ago, and it was about this baby and the mother. The mother leaves for a few moments, and the baby finds his pacifier moving around by this invisible force, and the baby follows around the pacifier. Now, this sparked a whole bunch of theories and speculation as to what was going on. Here on this channel, we talked about how there was a lot of evidence suggesting that this was related to Pikmin. There was Pikmin music throughout the short film, there were Pikmin references on the walls, the way that pacifier was being carried around that looked like Pikmin movement, and we also understood the lore of the Pikmin series from Pikmin Bloom, that Pikmin are invisible to humans. So we thought this had to do with Pikmin, and then sure enough, the next day, yesterday, in the morning, Nintendo puts out the second version of this Close to You short film, and this second version has Pikmin in there. Literally just showed the invisible force, and it's Pikmin, and there's Pikmin all throughout. Now the thing is, you may not have actually seen this though, because Nintendo only shared this on the Nintendo Today app yesterday in the morning, not on Twitter, not on YouTube, not anywhere else, and Nintendo was also taking down a variety of videos that were covering this topic. Now, as I said, I did cover this topic yesterday, and I go into the meaning behind this short film, and they talked about how, yes, this could maybe be a subtle teaser for Pikmin something later down the road, but not in the immediate future. This is more so bigger picture about Nintendo Pictures just putting something out there and showing more signs that Nintendo likes to do this cross-promotion between these now short films, the movies, the theme parks, merchandising, the games and all. It all boosts each other. This is a bigger picture thing here. And Nintendo Today, and I don't mean the app, I just mean on social media like Twitter, said this: "We hope you enjoyed the two Close to You videos released on October 7th and 8th. The second video is available on Nintendo Today, a free app available on your smart device. These are the first short films created by Nintendo Pictures. Nintendo Pictures will continue to explore new creative possibilities through video content." So obviously Nintendo here is not confirming that all this different stuff, the theme parks, the short films, the movies, are meant to be used as cross-promotion to tease future projects. I talk about the evidence for that in yesterday's video, but what they are saying here is that Nintendo Pictures will continue to put out more short film stuff like this. So this is just the beginning. There's going to be more stuff like this. There's going to be opportunity for Nintendo to showcase other Nintendo IP, have them be featured as a big part of the conversation online, just like it happened for Pikmin, even though a lot of people didn't want to believe it's Pikmin because Pikmin is more niche than something like Mario, for example. Now, on the note of movie stuff, we have a new rumor regarding the Donkey Kong movie. According to Daniel RPK, who puts this stuff behind a paywall so you can't see what he actually said, he's apparently talking about how there is a Universal project for a Donkey Kong movie. Now, I don't consider this to be grand news because we already have official information that suggests this. If you missed it, a few months back, we talked about how we actually had seen a new copyright filing between Nintendo and Universal for a Donkey Kong motion picture. Now, that isn't 100% outright confirmed that a Donkey Kong movie is in the works, but it's definitely extremely strong evidence, and now we have this rumor from Daniel RPK, who apparently reports on these things ahead of time, but through his Patreon, where there's a paywall of different movie projects. And yeah, so this is another little thing to maybe believe that a Donkey Kong movie is in the works. Which, going back to this whole cross-promotion theory I've been talking about, makes sense because we just got Donkey Kong Bonanza. Donkey Kong was featured in the initial Mario movie. We had the Donkey Kong Park. It's all about expanding these different Nintendo IP. So yes, when we see Nintendo investing in these IP in various ways, it usually means they have a bigger plan in mind. But now on to some Pokemon stuff. So Light here on Twitter has shared the apparent cases for Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. Here's the front, here is the back. Looks fine to me. I love the aesthetic. I'm kind of curious on how they have just these repeated frames here, but I guess the idea is to show the real-time action of the battles now. I guess that's what that's all about. Now, the bigger sort of talking point here is that people are concerned that the game is now out there and that it's going to leak, but nothing substantial has leaked yet. Now, let me be clear. Many substantial things have leaked about this game already. What I more so mean is people having the game and just showing like live streamed gameplay of the game before the embargo. That has not happened yet. Which is kind of a good thing because the game is now but a week out, and so usually these things have leaked by this point, so the fact that it hasn't happened yet, I would say is pretty good news, though I wouldn't be surprised if this happens pretty soon. Now, something else we've learned this week are the file sizes for Legends ZA. On Switch 1, it's 4.1 gigabytes, and on Switch 2, it's nearly double at 7.7 gigabytes. So I wonder why there's such a big disparity in size there, or are they really just using much more higher quality assets? That's certainly possible, but I'll also remind everyone this is Game Freak, and Game Freak is not known for to be the best at optimization, so it might have more so to do with that, but I'm sure it's actually a little bit of a combination. That all said, we did see some new screenshots for Legends ZA today that were just posted by the Pokemon Twitter account, and yeah, they look nice. Like, it's nothing groundbreaking, it's nothing mind-blowing, but yeah, the game is still aesthetically pleasing. It has some good colors when you see the Pokemon out there, and yes, I am excited for Legends ZA. I do plan on picking it up next week. I may put together some kind of video about this game as we approach release. Not sure exactly what I'm going to say, but I definitely want to talk a little bit more about this game, and absolutely am going to play it because I usually do. And even though I feel like there's still more room for improvement with the Pokemon series, I do love some of the things that they are doing with Legends ZA, like the real-time combat, for example. Something else neat that is going on, there's this little bit of a movement here, a little bit of a viral trend, where people are posting all their Mario fails. Like, as you see here, this person just gets mauled by all these penguins and then dies, right? They crash out. Or here, this person is playing Galaxy 2, and as a Luma comes, they get the spike ball, and somehow they get launched off randomly. Like, it's just kind of a whole bunch of different things here where everyone's using the exact same hashtag, seeing all these Mario fails. Like, look here at Mario 64, what's about to happen is pretty wild. Like, he just gets crushed. Like, that's crazy. Or this one from Mario Sunshine I thought was neat. Like, you just see that they slid in there, and then they're just, it looks like they're just stuck forever, right? But yeah, so everyone's just sharing all these random, like, mistakes or glitches playing their Mario games. This all just started yesterday with this big Mario movement, so you can use this hashtag here, which when translated, I don't remember exactly what it says. It says here at the top, hashtag Super Mario Crap Mistake Grand Prix on X, which is Twitter. So, kind of some funny stuff that's going on right now in regards to Mario. Now, in other news, we got a Nintendo Switch Online update about Super Nintendo games coming to Switch Online plus expansion pack members, and this includes Fatal Fury Special, Bubsy and Claws Encounters on the Third Kind, and Mario and Wario, which has never been released outside of Japan. And what's interesting about this one is it says mouse controls are required, so I assume that if you're playing this on Switch 1, you have to play this with a mouse plugged into your Switch. You can do that through the USB connection, but on Switch 2, as Nintendo confirms here on Twitter, you can use the mouse controls of the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. So it's another game on NSO that uses the mouse controls, which I find really interesting because a little bit while back they had announced Mario Paint that also uses the mouse controls. And I've never played Mario and Wario before, so I'm going to be checking this one out. Now, there's an interesting rumor that's come out from Nash Weedle. Leak Express, the Nintendo Switch 2 camera will receive new features, avatars can be created that replace your image and reproduce your gestures through motion capture. It will be useful for game chat, and games will be able to take advantage of it. Mario copying your gestures. Now, I find the concept of this to be interesting. So say we're playing some online games together and you have an icon of, I don't know, let's just say Donkey Kong, and you freak out because you get wrecked by, I don't know, like a blue shell or something, and your freak out face shows as DK freaking out through game chat. That could be pretty cool. Or maybe you're playing as Link and you start screaming and you can see Link freaking out. Like, I don't know if they'll go as far as to include someone like Link, but I feel like they should, and if they did do something like that, that could really bring in a lot more engagement to game chat, and I get a lot more people interested if we can actually have different Nintendo characters function as our avatars, and we have a camera that's looking at our faces. We don't actually have to show off our faces, but it is looking at our faces and making adjustments to how our avatars are reacting. That could be a really cool little feature. Will it happen? We'll see. Obviously, this is a rumor or a leak depending on how much you trust Nash Weedle, but we'll see what happens. Continuing with this bevy of news though, earlier this week Nintendo revealed a lot of details on these different characters in Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. One of them is this Chamberlain who attends Princess Zelda. She is an attendant and one of the most trusted from King Rauru. But also they revealed the name for all the sages, or all the names for all the sages. One of them being Ardi, the leader of the Gerudo, and she's a badass, as you can see here. But then they also showed off Rafika, the Sage of Winds from the Rito. And then also we have Quia, the Queen Zora. We also have Agrastin, the Chief of the Gorons as well. And here we can see them a little bit more closer up on the Konami website here. And yeah, these designs look pretty cool. So we're going to be learning more about the sages here, and clearly right now they're getting a little bit of emphasis as we approach the release for Age of Imprisonment. Now, there was an update to Cronos the New Dawn for Nintendo Switch 2. As friend of the channel, Super Metal Day 64 points out, textures have been improved, the level of detail to draw distance has been improved, lighting and fog has been improved, item pickup highlight effect has been fixed, the time reversal effect has been fixed, and here we see these screenshots here. And the game is looking pretty good. Like, one reason I haven't picked this game up yet on Switch 2 is because I saw that the visuals were noticeably worse than other platforms, but with this recent update, I'd like to see some comparisons, because just looking at them here isolated, they look pretty good. Now, in some other Bloober team news here, it looks like they are setting up for a Silent Hill 2 remake announcement for other platforms that may include Nintendo Switch 2. As you see here, I'll go to the actual tweet from Rebs Gaming. They're showing that the website has been updated and it has actually space for more platforms to be announced outside of Steam and PlayStation 5. So presumably, one side would be for Xbox, the other side would be for Switch 2. Considering how we're seeing more and more third parties announce more and more games for Switch 2 and how well they are running, including Cronos and how it's seeing some pretty good updates, that is coming from the exact same team, I find this to be a very plausible possibility, and we may see it announced pretty darn soon. Now, something else interesting coming from Bloober Team, they recently put out a press release, and some of that includes them confirming that Project M, this title we've heard about coming to Switch 1 and Switch 2 as an exclusive to the Switch family, will have its global premiere in 2026. We have yet to see Project M, which is very interesting. Seeing what they were able to do with Cronos, I'm very curious what they'll be able to accomplish with a game that's made ground up for just Nintendo platforms. Now, it's also being made for Switch, so it does have me wonder if it's going to be that ambitious, but I am keeping my eyes peeled. Oftentimes, Switch family exclusive games are pretty good. And for the last little bit of news here, I'll point out that there have been a lot of comparisons for Yookah Replaylee on Switch 2 versus Switch 1. And as you see from this screenshot comparison here from Annalisa Debits, you will notice that there is a substantial difference in level of detail and quality from the Switch 1 version. It is so substantial, and it really gets me curious on playing this game on Switch 2. I never played the original Yooka-Laylee on Switch 1 or any platform for that matter. I kind of waited, and I've waited so long, it's been many years. I do want to play it, and now it seems like it may be the best time to give it a try. But that pretty much sums up all the awesome and surprising Switch 2 news, or just Nintendo news in general, that you may have missed. But what do you all think? What do you make of all these latest things that have been happening? Tell me in the comments below. This is AndresRestart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I will see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.